A healthy jungle operates like a balanced circuit. Nutrients move from the soil to the trees, and calories are distributed across the species that live there. Every animal takes what it needs to function, keeping the entire network in equilibrium. But sometimes a behavior emerges that disrupts this flow. This monkey developed a specific habit, a compulsion to gather and store far more food than he could actually consume. This diagram shows how resources normally circulate through an environment. When an individual engages in extreme resource hoarding, we see this bottlenecking. By pulling calories out of circulation faster than they can be replenished, the hoarder creates a shortage for everyone else. This habit became a major problem when the monkey discovered a unique resource, a single, massive banana tree loaded with fruit. Instead of eating his fill and moving on, he decided to claim absolute, solitary ownership over every banana on the tree. He immediately stopped his normal foraging. He began tearing down clusters of fruit, frantically stacking them in his arms and across the surrounding branches to ensure nothing was left for any other animal. By attempting to monopolize the entire tree, he turned a moment of plenty into a source of conflict. He had made himself responsible for a cache of fruit far larger than he could ever manage alone. The consequences arrived when a rabbit, a deer, and a squirrel approached the tree. In this environment, a surplus usually triggers communal feeding, where multiple species eat side by side. They expected to share the fruit. Instead, the monkey refused to let them near the tree, guarding every banana for himself. This graph illustrates the mechanical result of that choice. By severing these connections to the other animals, the monkey prevented the weight of the fruit from being distributed. He forced himself to physically carry the entire burden. To maintain his monopoly, he had to secure the asset. He loaded his arms and legs with as many bananas as he could grip, desperate to keep the fruit out of reach. He believed he was protecting his wealth by keeping the community away, but he was actually pinning himself to the tree under a massive, unstable load. The monkey was now perched on a high, narrow branch, clutching dozens of pounds of dense, water-heavy fruit. Every organism has a maximum carrying capacity. The moment the weight of the hoarded bananas exceeded his physical strength, he reached a point of total immobilization. This vector diagram shows the result. The downward gravitational force of the load is now overpowering the structural integrity of the wood. He can't climb down, and he can't let go without losing the very fruit he's trying to keep. Under that concentrated weight, the wood fibers began to snap. He struggled to maintain his balance, but the branch finally gave way. Gravity ripped the hoarded fruit away in an instant. He tumbled through the air, helpless, as the bananas scattered across the forest floor. The physical system corrected the imbalance. He hit the ground, losing everything because he tried to hold on to too much. The monkey lay on the ground, stripped of his fruit and unable to move. He was now highly vulnerable. The deer, the squirrel, and the rabbit returned to the spot. Instead of taking the fruit and leaving him, they worked together to help him up and check his injuries. The same animals he had turned away were now the only reason he wasn't left alone on the forest floor. On the left, a single isolated pillar fails under massive weight. On the right, a network of smaller pillars carries the same load easily. Sharing resources creates a safety net, ensuring the collective remains stable and recovers quickly if shocked. The monkey picked up the remaining bananas and began handing them to the other animals. Attempting to hold a monopoly created a weight he couldn't carry. True security came from being part of a group where resources were allowed to flow freely. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with the KIDDOS Story Planet community.